We'll call to order the July 23rd, 2026 O'Fallon City Council meeting to order. Workshop. Roll call, Katie.
Mayor Hennessy.
Present.
Councilmember Wexler.
Present.
Councilmember Wilcox.
Present.
Councilmember Boyer.
Present.
Councilmember Yates.
Present.
Councilmember Cascella.
Present.
Councilmember Link.
Present.
Councilmember Taylor.
Present.
Councilmember Spencer.
Present.
Councilmember Cook. Present. Councilmember Palmer.
The grandpa's excused. Folks, you have an agenda in front of you. Ms. Cook?
Yes, I would like to ask that we allow the discussion on the backyard chickens be moved up to the first item on the agenda tonight.
Be the second item on the agenda.
Okay, the second item.
Okay.
I
Motion to-
second.
Okay, no, that's fine. Motion by Councilwoman Cook, second by Councilwoman Taylor to move the backyard chickens to number 2 and the economic development back to number 3. Questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Do I have approval of the amended agenda?
Cook.
Motion by Councilwoman Cook, second.
Wexler.
Second by Councilman Wexler. Questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Anything on the council agenda that you folks want to talk about? Mr. Snowden.
Thank you, Mayor. I sent an email to this, but I want to make sure everyone is clear. Tonight on item number, or bill number rather, 7877, it's an ordinance approving an intergovernmental agreement with the city of Cottleville for participation in the DFR program. This is a situation where we got this agreement to them just before their June meeting, but they couldn't get it on the agenda in time, and they only meet once a month. So this just got approved last week by Cottleville, and it was slated to start July 1st. Now we're trying to have it start August 1st. If we don't double read it tonight, it's going to have to be September 1st. And while that's certainly your right to not second read it, staff would appreciate if you would consider reading it twice to final passage tonight.
Okay.
Thank you.
Questions? All right. Seeing none. I have a motion to second to approve the city council workshop meeting minutes of July 9th, 2026.
Motion, Cascella.
Second Link.
Motion by Councilman Cascella, second by Councilman Link. Questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next is discussion on the backyard chickens. Ms. Cook?
Yes, thank you. So I think a lot of us, or all of us, received an email regarding the discussion of bringing up backyard chickens. This was brought up back in 2014, 15 when I first got elected. So it's kind of like dormant for a while, but I was contacted by Devin. He would like to come up and kind of discuss it. Come on up, Devin.
Thank you all for your time.
Devin, if you would give us your name and address just for the record, please.
Sure. Devin Holroyd, 33 Civic Park Court.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm not a man of many words. I'm a layman, so bear with me on that point. Really, I just wanted to bring this forth to everybody just to say, like, with all the things that have been happening with the laws recently, obviously a couple of years ago, the state law changed. Granted, that was just for HOAs, not for municipalities and all that sort of thing. I just wanted to bring forth this idea to put a bug in somebody's ear to say that, you know, there's a lot of support, I think, out there for us to have the backyard chickens available. I sent a PDF of a PowerPoint presentation that just kind of explains some of my main points, just what I was thinking would be good argument ideas.
Okay.
I kind of wanted to just bring it forth and say what questions can I answer now in terms of, like, how can we get the ordinance to be changed a little bit, to be amended? What things were brought up in the past, I don't really know. I tried looking it all up, and not a whole lot was on the workshop data and such. It was either or archived or something along those lines. I'm not quite sure. I did see that it was there, but we're kind of the only municipality that I could find in this general area that doesn't allow backyard chickens in some fashion. St. Peter's, you require a permit. It's supposed to be on a minimum of 1 acre lot. A lot of our residential lots are a lot smaller than that, I will say that much. We live on just under a half acre. Some of the, talking to friends of mine, some of the concerns that came up would be predator attractions. We already have coyotes. I hear them every single night. We already have foxes and possums and all that sort of thing. Granted, that's a valid concern, but that comes down to whichever resident has these backyard chickens just being responsible owners and responsible to their property, et cetera. Noise levels, for a flock of 8 hens, it would be between 60 and 70 decibels right at the source. And obviously that's going to diminish as you get further away from the coop and the run, et cetera. And 30 to 40 feet away, it would be between 50 and 55, which falls closer to our, say, noise ordinance, which caps it at about that. Another concern was odors. And again, that's kind of responsible management, responsible ownership, and incorporating some of the clean outs on a coop, you could put it into a garden. We have a small food garden, and we have managed to save at least $100 a week just by having vegetables and that sort of thing, fruits, whatever. I'm a little bit crazy about how I do things in that sense. I go a little bit further than most, but it is a possibility as far as saving money for the taxpayers. That's a pro in my mind. One hen will produce an average of about 3 to 5 eggs per week, sometimes more, depending upon the breed. And we all know the cost of eggs, et cetera, and what we use them for. Again, this is a personal preference thing, but I eat eggs every day just for the protein, if nothing else. So can I answer any questions or anything that would come up?
The only question I have is, our officers, if we cannot, or code enforcement cannot go in or look in the backyard for anything that's going wrong.
Okay.
So to me, I don't know how you enforce the homeowner to keep it clean, since, they can't go in somebody's backyard, can't look over the fence and see it. The toughest part is the enforcement side of it. And as you said, St. Peter's is 1 acre lots. We don't have that many. You said you live on a half acre?
Yeah, just under.
Just under, and a lot of our subdivisions, they're not that big. I mean, I think it's our 10,000 square foot lots is 4 units per acre.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 1/4 of an acre, and a lot of them are smaller. So it's real tough to get how you enforce it and where you're going to draw the line. I
Fair.
mean, that's my big concern.
That's fair. It's kind of why I brought up the idea of permits. You could incorporate, this is just me spitballing just because I'm a crazy guy, but incorporate into the permits, whether it be re-permitted every 6 months maybe, or just work it into the stipulations of it to say that there could be an inspection coming up on a regular basis or whatever the case may be.
Okay. Scott?
So the law that you referred to, do HOA rules overrule the state law as far as allowing chickens, or do the HOA rules overrule?
No, what? You go ahead. You're going to know more than I do.
It's the opposite. It's that HOAs can't enforce, no chickens. And so it's the opposite, yeah.
I will say that there was a case that came up last year, I think it was, where a judge ruled against this new law, saying that it was unconstitutional because of certain aspects of it and such. They said that it was packing the bill, and that's how it got passed. But that's still a thing where it kind of comes and goes. Right now, it's still on the books.
So just HOA rules would not be enforced? Okay, thank you.
Mr. Link?
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I'll comment on that directly, Scott. So when that state law went into effect and said HOAs can't basically disallow chickens, the city's current ordinances is kind of what saved us in Wingate, because I know there's some people that wanted them, but we're probably mostly 10,000 square feet on average per lot. And, we get enough complaints about dogs. I can't imagine how it would be with chickens. That being said, of course, I think if you have a big enough lot, and I think if the neighborhood is more of that agricultural type, so maybe your lot's bigger than an acre and the average lot in the neighborhood is bigger than an acre, I'm certainly willing to consider, chickens if the lots are large enough. And the general feel of the neighborhood is maybe more rural or agricultural, but not in a typical subdivision where it's, quarter acre or less per lot.
Okay. Go ahead, Brian.
Have you done petitions already, or do you know I know that you'd like to have the chickens. Do you have others that have talked to you? I've not heard anyone asking for chickens yet, but maybe that we get an awareness out there that
Have it
maybe coming
available.
out of the coop now.
I have it available to throw out there whenever. I didn't do that groundwork yet, but I do have, I started writing them up to be able to disseminate. And with technology these days, we could disseminate it electronically with a QR code, whatever. I set it up as a survey kind of a thing with a couple questions about, people can say why they're for or why they're against, that sort of thing, and just get an idea for it. But yeah, absolutely, it's a possibility.
Thank you.
Corey?
So there's obviously clear benefits to having backyard chickens, right? You get fresh eggs, educational opportunities for children that are homeschooled. That's a big one, and a lot more. I think as a council, it's our responsibility to consider what's in the best interest of the neighborhoods as a whole. And as it's been stated several times, our lot sizes are not that big. You'd have to have some sort of setback, right, from your neighbor's property line. And then the other thing is how are you going to enforce with not being, code enforcement not being allowed to go into your backyard? That would be my biggest thing. When I bought my house 8 years ago, there was an illegal chicken coop in my backyard, and tearing that thing down was the most disgusting thing I've ever done in my life. So I think it's going to be difficult to regulate. I think if we do choose to move forward, we've got to include practical safeguards like limiting the number of hens. I don't think any more than 4 or 5 should be allowed. And I think it's got to be, permitted, renewal regularly. And there has to be some way that we can say code enforcement can come into our backyard and inspect these things. And if that's not going to be a possibility, unfortunately, kind of the negatives outweigh the positives for me. And I, like Brian said, I haven't had one person reach out and say, oh, we want backyard chickens. But other than that, I haven't heard a lot of positive feedback on having them. Doesn't mean it's not out there, it just means I haven't heard it. So I would be, maybe continuing a discussion would be okay. But right now, I think as it stands, I don't know that it's best for our community.
Fair. I would say on the point of enforcement, and this goes to your point as well, coming from that background a little bit, if there's a complaint, we have to investigate that complaint. In which case, even if it goes to from just a theoretical thing, if somebody is making a complaint at 7 p.m. on some day and an officer goes up and looks, or even the drone as first responder program, if you want to use that, that'd be an expensive one. If you're investigating that sort of thing and it gets kicked over to code enforcement from that point, then they have that option to be able to go.
And that's another concern too, people calling the police over and over. Is this something that our police department can reasonably
No.
handle this excess and not cost the city more money by having to hire more officers because the call volume is higher, whether it just be for noise violations for chickens or, anything else. So I think there's a lot to consider here. I don't think I'd be a no right off the bat, I just think we have to really have a very in-depth discussion and consider all of the possibilities here.
Amanda?
Hey, thanks for coming and having this discussion. I'm with you. I'm for chickens. I grew up my dad had chickens. I mean, it was a couple acres on his property and things, and I know they kept well that you don't get the odor. I also, you brought up how other municipalities have this, and I was actually surprised we didn't, because I lived in Florissant moved out here about 8-9 years ago, and they have some of the strictest codes. I mean, you have to get occupancy permits, and and all kind of stuff, inspections when you move in and out by the city and pass all this stuff. But they allowed chickens. So I was like, came out here and we didn't have to do all that stuff when we're moving in. And then to hear, oh, they don't allow that. That's when Florissant did. And they had a neighbor next to me that had them. And I didn't even know for half the time we lived there that they even had them. I know they did have different rules that they would have to get like permission from neighbors, when they first, I guess started up. And then there are different rules. Like there are rules that I think made it so that it didn't become a problem. I am glad you brought up some of the questions because the predators was actually one thing I was going to ask, attract predators. We do have coyotes. Do you think that would attract even more? Or
I mean, I'm no animal expert, but I would think with the way that I have heard them migrating, I mean, I work rotational shifts and sometimes I'm out in my yard at night and such, and you hear them off in the distance, but we also live right off the train tracks, so they follow those train tracks the whole way. I mean, I'm, like I said, no animal expert. I would assume that it's the kind of thing where with proper regulation or proper management of a coop and of a run, if you have that. I'm not saying that, we should have free-range chickens, but I wouldn't think so, and there are ways to get around those things to educate the public with it, to be able to tell them how to manage a coop properly so that that doesn't become an issue.
I also think with O'Fallon, the way we are and how we have over the years such aggressive annexation where we don't really follow our comprehensive plan, where we're supposed to fill in and we just keep annexing out and just it causes so many of our areas to have an abundance of I guess you would say, borders where the county, right? So I have seen, when I'm going through a neighborhood, there'll be one side of the street, and this is right in the middle of our city, right? One side of the street that's unincorporated, and then the other side that's not in Florissant. So a lot of times we are having chickens in our neighborhoods anyway, I know that down over, it's past Twin Chimneys off of Bates Road, they have a neighborhood right there, a little unincorporated neighborhood, or maybe it's Dardian Prairie, but they have chickens right there. And I was like, wait, I didn't think we could have chickens. And because it's not O'Fallon. So I think a lot of these problems that people say, well, we already have these problems because really we do have chickens within O'Fallon. Other thing I was going to say, of course, noise. I mean, it would be things like no roosters, right?
Of course.
I know Corey said something about 5 or less. I was thinking even less. I think Florissant had maybe 3 or 4, something like that. But I think it's, one big thing, and I do say it's valid with the enforcement, because a lot of problems now, it's hard to stop something. But like you said, if we had like regular have to get permit renewals or something like that we would come in and ensure. And I even heard stories of people having chickens now and you don't even know it. So, but yeah, I'm glad you came though and had this discussion. So thanks.
Thank you.
Oliver?
Thank you. Thanks for coming up and talking about this. I'm kind of indifferent on the whole chicken thing. Yes or no. I could kind of go either way. I think the most important part though is enforcement. Pretty much everybody's brought it up. But I think if we were to go forward with it, maybe in the permit, we could put like a random inspections or up to so many per year or something along those lines. Just, to make sure that the coop is being properly maintained. Yeah, that's what I got. Thanks.
I think the only point to that would be cost for a resident and what that would do to them deciding whether they would or would not want to do this thing. If it ends up being a $50 permit every 6 months, that doesn't sound like a lot off the bat, but it could add up for sure.
Yes, it does.
And it would definitely offset the pro of saving money.
I think maybe the permit once a year and the inspections are included in that, right? I mean, we just know that, hey, through the year, you're going to have 3 random inspections or whatever that number comes down to. That, They just need to be, I think, random personally because, if they know it's coming up, they're going to make it look pretty, right?
Right.
Thank you.
Ms. Cook?
Thank you, Mayor. So when this came up 10 years ago or more, some of the things that came up was the no roosters. There were concerns about people butchering their chickens on their property, and that was an issue that came up because people were like, I don't want to have this going on in my, across the street, blood on the driveway things. But one of the big concerns was the cost to the city because the code enforcement are already stretched thin, and to put this additional on their plate of having to go to their different houses for inspections and things. I know that was one of the things that came up as a big additional cost for the city. And really the only way to offset that cost is to really make the permits expensive, which then offsets the cost of anything you're saving on eggs. So, and again, I think lot sizes definitely has to be the main driving factor. Because right now we just have these subdivisions with too small of lots. So we would have to really discuss that. And I'm kind of like Oliver. If my neighbors had chickens, I don't think it'd bother me. My 3 dogs can outbark their 4 chickens. So it doesn't really matter. But we would have to really get down into the weeds with it and make sure that the cost of the city is a minimum and a burden on the code enforcement people.
Corey?
One last thing, just because we keep bringing up the lot sizes and it just popped in my head. Maybe if we chose to move forward with something like this, we can limit the number of hens based on your lot size. Maybe be a happy medium so that way people who have smaller lot sizes aren't just automatically phased out of being able to have these chickens. If this becomes a thing where the community really comes forward and says, no, we really all really think this is a great idea, maybe we can, like I said, if we move forward, it could be discussed hens per lot size would be, I think, a nice happy medium so everyone could maybe be included.
That is how a lot of the adjoining municipalities have done it. Wentzville has that. Cottleville, Lake St. Louis, they all base it off of a square foot lot. And then, of course, if you get further down the line with more and more acreage, then they allow for roosters and that sort of thing. That's all written in.
Okay. Anybody else? Devin, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Mr. Stracknick, you can give us an update of the Economic Development Council of St. Charles County, sir?
And for what it's worth, I like fried chicken, I like grilled chicken, I like chicken salad, chicken soup, just about any kind of chicken. So, Scott Drocknick, Economic Development Council, St. Charles County resident for about 22 years now, and originally started my career out here with the city of St. Peters back in 1988. So I've been around for a little while. Thank you for the chance to be here, and I'm amazed that there are 2 Scotts in this public meeting. This must be a quorum in St. Charles County. I can't remember the last time that's happened before. So I wanted to take a few moments. I probably have more slides than we have time, so I won't be reading through all of them, but wanted to give the annual update because we appreciate the partnership that we have with the city. And I know some of you, and some of you I don't know, so some of this may be repeat or things that you've heard, but just wanted to kind of share some information. First off, our mission is to be a catalyst fostering growth. We're not the center of the universe, but we know how to connect people to where they need to go. And we've got some core services. Some organizations are just focused on attraction, retention. We do that, plus incubation, plus counseling, plus financing, plus community marketing, plus public policy initiatives that have gone quite well. And we appreciate all of the governmental partners that we've had, and we've actually added a few more in the last few years with the cities of Flint Hill and Forest Hill coming into the fold. Just to kind of put it in perspective, our annual budget is approximately $3 million. 10% of that comes from the contracts that we have with local government. The vast majority of what we do comes from our programs and the other things that we do to provide service in the community. So our core services, as I mentioned earlier, business attraction and retention. That is a key thing that's on the heart and minds of our governmental partners, and so it's a key service that we provide. And although I oversee the entire organization, this is the main one that I focus on most of the time. And our goal is to work with our peers, Patrick and his team and the like throughout the various cities and the state and the region to try to do what we can to promote opportunities to have strong growth in the area. So when we do that, we're providing economic data and support. Maybe we're helping identify land. It could be helping to work through obstacles that are there as we all work with utilities and other folks to bring things about. And we're also trying to make sure that we are staying in tune with whatever the particular city and community want to see and want to pursue. In the financing program, it's a very specific type of financing. It's through the U.S. Small Business Administration, and it's referred to as fixed asset financing. So if someone is going to buy a building, renovate a building, expand a building, or put equipment into a building, that's where this program can help. And it offers low down payment, long-term fixed rate financing that is spread across a local bank who has a 50% position, the SBA takes a 40% position, and then there's a 10% down payment unless it's a very special use type facility. Several years we've been the first. A couple of times we've fallen to being 13th in the region. Last 2024 we were 11th. This year we were number 2. So we're very viable, very competitive in bringing this program to companies that are in the area. And here you can see in O'Fallon just some that have happened in the last few years. Our program has brought $16.5 million of investment to the city of O'Fallon and 158 jobs. You can see some of the names of the companies that are there, but I want to call attention to that photo. Ozark Assemblies. Ozark Assemblies is sort of a double dip. They were an incubator tenant until we graduated them into the city of O'Fallon. And then as they grew, they needed help to buy the building, the old fire station, and so we provided the financing through the 504 program. Recently, the SBA, both some of their national and Midwestern and local folks said, hey, St. Charles County, can you take us on a tour of some of the businesses that you've partnered us with in our program? One of the first we went to was Ozark Assemblies, and they were just wowed by what they saw and the great things that were going on at that company. So good reasons among many of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of businesses that are here in O'Fallon to be proud. We've got a small business incubator. It's growing. It's doing great. It's a 60,000 square foot facility. If there's anybody here who has never been there, I would be happy to give you a guided tour. I do that every time I'm speaking with some of the other cities. I was at Wentzville the other month, and as I said it, their president pro tem bowed his head down. Oh, I've been saying for 3 years I'll go out there. So he was shamed enough, and a couple of them came out and we had a tour, and he was amazed. He said, I had no idea what was going on in here and what it was like, and was very, very impressed. Some of the incubator graduates from the EDC that are now thriving in O'Fallon, again, Ozark Assemblies, Development Dynamics started in the EDC incubator. And then what used to be Telgas, that's now Boscom Hunter, was in the EDC incubator. They've been purchased out over time. And then you've got a great counseling organization, Collaborative Counseling Network. We've always, for some reason, had a number of mental health professionals in our building, and these two women graduated and found the same location and merged sort of their networking services and based them here out of O'Fallon. The business counseling program is something that is provided, in one sense it's free, it's paid for by our taxes, but the SBA with the University of Missouri has counselors based throughout all of Missouri, and they do that in each and every state. And so we have one based out of the EDC, and this is a program that provides free counseling services that could be helping the client to figure out if they want to start a business, if they're capable to start a business, how to write the business plan, how to find their demographics, how to figure out their customer base. Maybe they need assistance on the administrative side. Maybe it's HR. Maybe it's the bureaucracy of permits and things. Maybe they're trying to figure out if they can have chickens in their business. And so our counselors will work with them, even if it's import-export, to help them move forward. And if you've not met our counselor, or she's not been out to speak to one of your committees or keep it in the O or something like that, we'd love to figure that out and make that happen. Then on the public policy side, all of us are trying to help make this a great place to grow your business and grow your life. And so over time, a couple of key things have happened. We've been very, very involved in STEM education activities since 2010. And so there is now a program that's been going on that not only do we recognize students who are nominated by each high school, public and private in St. Charles County, but we also give out grants to those classrooms for STEM education. And then Dr. Dubray, who you know quite well, and we love having him on our board, was kind enough to donate towards a STEAM education grant. So for the last 2 years, we've not only given out STEM grants, we've given out STEAM grants. All of the schools can apply, K through 12, public and private, and so far in the last few years, we have given out over $80,000 to help those efforts in St. Charles County. But one of the others that's going on is the Mo Cowbell. Has anybody ever run or volunteered for Mo Cowbell? There we go. I love that. What did you run?
half marathon twice.
The half marathon. One year they let me drive the pace car. I should have driven the route first. As we were going, I took a wrong turn, and the pace runner followed me into a parking lot that was a dead end, and then had to run across the berm. I think he lost about 2 minutes on his time. They never let me drive the pace car again, so just thought I'd point that out. Mo Cowbell is the biggest, fastest, funnest race in the St. Louis area. We expect to have some 6,000 runners this year. This will be the 15th year anniversary. There are people from every state, sometimes numerous people from overseas come. And it is a great way to be a showcase for this community, because they'll come and they'll stay at the hotel, they'll go to the restaurants, they'll go to the shops, maybe there's a festival or something going on and they'll take a peek. Last year, the biggest thing that we thought, I don't know how we do it again, CNN had a camera crew following a runner who was a social media influencer, and they were filming a Samsung new electronic phone commercial while they were doing it. So when you see this Samsung commercial, you are seeing scenes of St. Charles County in the background. And that happened because Mo Cowbell was here. And so we're very proud of that race and all that it does. And if you're wondering, where in the world did that name come from? Does anybody know? There was a Saturday Night Live skit with Will Ferrell and Christopher Walken. I got to have more cowbell, with the old Grim Reaper song from Don't Fear the Reaper from Blue Oyster Cult. But I diverge. Meanwhile, community marketing. You guys have a great thing with the programs that you're doing and how you're keeping it in the O. We're also trying to amplify that, along with figuring out what are key sites to promote to business investors, to promote to site selectors. How can we tout the products and things that are happening? You see the one in the middle. You see True Manufacturing with their refrigeration units. You also see some of the wafers that are made by MEMC. And then all of us are using social media quite effectively to get the word out and not just simply rely on traditional media. And then in the 20-year partnership, we want to continue to be here, keep it going, achieve and pursue and work with you to the levels that you want. Want to help with the site promotion. That continues to be an opportunity. We continue to do lead generation. Source One Solutions was a company that we brought to town, and then they ended up liking O'Fallon, and Patrick and team took it from there and tied it in a nice bow, and you all approved it, and they're growing and doing a great thing on Highway K. Workforce engagement is key for many reasons, not only because the business community's asked for it, but some years ago the county executive asked me to leave economic development and run the county's workforce department for 5 years. And in that chance, I had a good opportunity to learn the program, became the president of the state workforce organization for all of the other directors, and we were trying to learn how do we maximize upward mobility and training for people in our community, not just how do you maximize companies to have profits, but how do you be concerned about wages as well. And so all of that is an opportunity to promote smart growth together, because that has been what St. Charles County has been known for. We are the envy of the region. We're the envy of the Midwest. That is why this city and so many others keep winning awards for being the best place to live in Missouri, or one of the best places to live in the United States, or one of the safest places to live. And that's because all of us have been working together to make that possible. And lastly, not only do we appreciate all your leadership, but we want to recognize it, and we will be recognizing it at our 6th Annual Economic Development Awards on August 5th. The City of O'Fallon is receiving an award in our Community Initiatives area for your leadership in sports tourism. So congratulations on the new turf that's out there at the Ozzie Smith Fields. Congratulations on the continued success at the soccer fields and all the other things that we're all doing to promote opportunities for health, wealth, and recreation in the area. And with that said, I would be remiss if I didn't point out there was a 5-year study done to look at how effective are our services. Over that 5-year period, they found that for every $1,000 invested in the EDC, we returned $106,000 in economic development impact. Our programs led to $1.3 billion in that 5 years of impact, over 10,000 jobs, and more than $430 million of payroll through attraction, retention, counseling, incubation, financing, and the other things that we do along with you to make this a great place, the envy of the Midwest. With that said, thank you so much for your time. And
You said that one other time, too.
I'll say it again. Thank you so much.
Well, Scott, thanks for what you do. I appreciate it. Any questions for Scott? Come on, somebody's got to have a question for him.
Just out of curiosity, what are the middle names? Let's see if there's some weirdness going on here. We all got the same.
My middle name's actually Scott.
Oh, your middle name's Scott. What's your first name?
Robert Scott.
Okay, all right, there we go.
Alan.
Alan, okay. I've got a Jonathan. I thought if we had something really, we'd head to the boat later after all this and see. So, thank you so much.
All right, Scott, appreciate it. Any other items for consideration? Seeing none, I'd like to have a motion to go to closed session, 610-0211, legal action, cause of action, or litigation involving a public governmental body and any confidential privileged communication between a public governmental body or its representative and its attorneys. 610-0212, leasing, purchasing, or sale of real estate. And 610-0212, sealed bids and related documents till the bids are opened, and sealed proposals and related documents or any documents related to a negotiated contract until a contract is executed or all proposals are rejected.
So move Wexler.
Second Boyer.
Motion by Councilman Wexler, second by Councilman Boyer. Roll call. Katie?
Councilmember Wexler?
Yes.
Councilmember Taylor?
Yes.
Councilmember Boyer?
Yes.
Councilmember Link?
Yes.
Councilmember Cook?
Yes.
Councilmember Cascella?
Yes.
Councilmember Wilcox?
Yes.
Councilmember Spencer?
Yes.
Councilmember Yates?
Yes.
We'll be in the community room at 6:15. We're adjourned. We'll call to order the July 23rd, 2026 O'Fallon City Council meeting to order. Roll call, Bess.
Mayor Hennessy.
Present.
Councilmember Wexler.
Present.
Councilmember Wilcox.
Present.
Councilmember Boyer.
Present.
Councilmember Yates.
Present.
Councilmember Cascella.
Present.
Councilmember Link.
Present.
Councilmember Spencer.
Present.
Councilmember Taylor.
Present.
Councilmember Cook.
Present.
Councilmember Palmer.
Grandpa's excused. Folks, you have an agenda in front of you. What's the pleasure?
So move Wexler.
Second, Taylor.
Motion by Councilman Wexler, second by Councilwoman Taylor. Questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Huh? Oh. If everyone please stand for invocation by Councilmember Cascella, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Councilman Cascella.
Thank you, Mayor. I thought I was ahead of myself. I didn't know what was going on there. If you would just please join me in a prayer real quick. Heavenly Father, we come before you today with grateful hearts, thanking you for the blessings you've bestowed upon our city, our families, and our nation. We ask for your wisdom to guide the decisions made in this chamber tonight. Help us to lead with integrity, humility, and a genuine desire to serve the people of O'Fallon well. Grant us discernment to seek what is right, courage to make difficult decisions, and respect for one another, even when we disagree. Remind us that we are called to be good stewards of the responsibilities entrusted to us and to pursue the common good for all who live, work, and visit our community. May our words and actions reflect servant leadership, compassion, and peace. We ask for your protection over our first responders, military members, city staff, and every resident of O'Fallon. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Actually, Steve, I was just waiting for you to come down, so that's why we did the other way. So we have some, during the presiding officer report, we have some new officers to introduce. Chief?
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. It's an honor tonight to be before you and introduce three of the newest officers to the O'Fallon Police Department. We'll start with Officer Lily Maxey. Officer Maxey comes to our department with an outstanding academic background and a deep commitment to public service. She holds a master's degree in criminal justice, a foundation that she put into practice during her recent training at the Eastern Missouri Police Academy. While at the academy, Officer Maxey truly excelled, earning a third-place ranking academically in her class. Prior to joining law enforcement, Officer Maxey dedicated her career to helping others as a pediatric behavioral therapist at Mercy Hospital, which brings invaluable communication, empathy, and crisis resolution skills to our team. While she grew up nearby in Wentzville, she is now a proud resident of O'Fallon. Joining Officer Maxey tonight to celebrate this special occasion is her son Isaiah and her mother Laura. If you could please join me in welcoming Officer Maxey to Team O'Fallon and the O'Fallon Police Department.
Now you get to sing a song or do a dance.
I could do a dance probably.
Go ahead.
Hello, everyone, and good evening. I am Police Officer Lily Maxey, and I just want to say that I am so thankful to be here tonight and to have this opportunity to serve the city of O'Fallon. I really look forward to growing my career here and just taking it every day one step at a time. So I just want to say that I'm honored and I'm extremely proud to be serving the city of O'Fallon. Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations. Ready? Oh, sorry. Next, we have Officer Chris Walston. While Christopher is new to the police department, he is a familiar and deeply valued face within our city. For the past 13 years, Christopher has dedicated his career to serving the city of O'Fallon, working hard to keep our community safe and moving as a fleet mechanic and street department worker. His long-standing dedication to public service recently led him to take the next step in his career, successfully graduating from the Eastern Missouri Police Academy. During his time at the academy, his natural leadership abilities were quickly recognized, and he served with distinction as a squad leader. Officer Walston is a longtime resident of O'Fallon, giving him a deep understanding of and connection to the community he now protects. Joining him tonight to celebrate this milestone is his wife, Jackie. Please join me in thanking Officer Walston for his continued service to Team O'Fallon, and welcome to the O'Fallon Police Department.
Please excuse my voice. I've acquired a summer bug. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start by thanking my wife, Jackie, for all her support in this process and her continued support. I'd like to thank everyone that helped me along the way, all of their encouraging words, and to achieve this lifelong goal. You know who you are. I don't need to speak any names. And I'd like to most importantly thank the City of O'Fallon for this opportunity of a lifetime. I'll do my best to serve to the best of my abilities for the citizens of O'Fallon and the City of O'Fallon. Thank you.
Next, we have Officer Chris Peters. Officer Peters joins our department as an experienced officer, bringing 3 years of dedicated law enforcement experience from the Hazelwood Police Department. Prior to beginning his career in public safety, Chris attended Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville, where he studied healthcare informatics. In addition to his law enforcement career, Officer Peters proudly serves this country as a platoon leader in the Army National Guard. We are incredibly grateful for his dual commitment to protecting both our nation and the residents and the City of O'Fallon. Chris is thrilled to bring his experience, leadership, and passion for service to the citizens of O'Fallon. Joining him tonight are his wife, Kara, his daughter, Sophia, and his parents, Dawn and Scott. Chris, welcome to Team O'Fallon and the O'Fallon Police Department.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris. I just want to say I'm very excited to be here. I'm grateful for this opportunity, and I look forward to having hopefully a long and very rewarding career here in O'Fallon. Thank you.
All right, next we have Jennifer. We're going to give us a recap on Heritage Freedom Fest.
Oh, good. I have a fan base. I'm so excited. Fan of one. Well, good evening, everyone. I hope everybody is recovering from Heritage and Freedom Fest. I know I still have a little bit of digging out to do. Don't look at my office, but it will get cleaned up here shortly. I just wanted to touch on a few highlights this evening. Also, just a little bit of some initial numbers that are coming in, and then also kind of talk briefly about what you don't see that takes place during the event itself. First and foremost, we did have 4 days once again, and on July 2nd, that was our family night, but the morning started nice and early with KMOV on site, and they did a live show through over by our VIP area, and they were highlighting a variety of the different types of activities and entertainment and what was going on. But not only that, they were highlighting all the different pieces of what takes place in O'Fallon. So our historical sites, our Heroes Way, Alligators Creek, our volunteers, I know Kathy was there also as part of being interviewed. So it really focused and highlighted what O'Fallon has to offer, and I feel we have a lot more to offer than maybe what other cities do. And so I was very excited to be able to be a part of that and to show what it is that Team O'Fallon does. If you haven't had a chance to get down onto the boulevard, there was a wood carver that was taking place, and he created an eagle. You need to name it and find it a home. It's currently in our office if anybody would like to see it. It started off as a 6-foot tall log that was 16 in diameter inches around. You start your day one way, then the next thing you know, you're out in the middle of a field looking for a log to be able to accommodate that for what it is that is part of your job. So you never know what you're going to get into each day. We also had Legos. That is also on display in our office, and we will be finding a home for that here shortly once we get it framed out, and it will be hung somewhere within City Hall. It is the A250 logo with the waves and the emblem of the rotunda as well within it. So the community got to build that, and then we will put that on display here. Also very excited about our parade balloon that we had this year. So it was a very large birthday cake celebrating, of course, the A250. And we concluded that parade with 2 horses and a pony. And I'm personally very excited about that, and we'll hope that we can attract more type of entries like that in the near future. A few little highlights on numbers, still getting a lot of these numbers in, and I will come back next month and be able to provide a lot more concrete information on that. The carnival had brought in $30,000 in just our ticket sales there. Vendor revenues came in at $30,765, and our parade fees came in at $3,300. And that was up, the parade fees were up compared to last year. And it was almost a 50-50 split between a commercial entry and a political entry as far as the numbers go when they come in. And if I recall correctly, we were sitting around 74 to 75 entries for the parade itself. But finally, what I would really like to focus on is staff. Without staff, all this other information that I can recap and tell you about would not happen. We did have some staffing challenges within 2 weeks before the event itself. And the way the recreation department came together to create a plan to how to handle this was unreal. And I wanted to take a moment to thank everybody who was involved with this, and I'm sure I'm going to forget some names, but within this 2 weeks prior to getting started with Heritage and Freedom Fest, Craig Felt, Kristen Chestnut, and myself, we all sat down, and in an hour and a half, we had hammered out an entire plan on how to attack the rest of Heritage and Freedom Fest and what needed to be done and make sure it got done, and it got done on time. And we're that duck on top of the water with the feet paddling really, really fast underneath. So I could not have done it without them. Grace Rogers, she'd been with us for 3 months by the time 4th of July came around. That girl seems like she's been here for 5 years. I cannot commend her enough on what she has done for our group. She was amazing. And she didn't even bat an eye at anything. She just looked to see what needed to be done and just did it. And it was fantastic. Madison Van Dyke, she was my most experienced person. She was with me for the 2nd summer as a part-time staff member. Amazing. She knew what needed to be done. She stepped in and she started taking care of things. Kinsley Lancaster, part-time high school senior, came in, knew, she just said, "What do you need me to do?" And she just took off and she started doing it. That was the core group of people, and I cannot thank staff enough. Donna Pinkston also jumped in, started taking care of all sorts of things, and it was absolutely amazing. Volunteer services, the police department, parks department, communications, all of them are a vital, vital part of Heritage and Freedom Fest. And I really feel that there's not many departments that we do not touch within the city of O'Fallon to be able to make this event available for the community and those, surrounding areas coming in. So I really did want to take a moment to make sure that people understood how appreciative I am. It was a very challenging year this year, but we made it, and I don't think everything went off without a hitch. I still feel people had a wonderful time. They enjoyed the entertainment, they enjoyed the fireworks, the parade, all of the above. So I really did want to just take a moment and thank everybody who supports that and the support of the staff that really rallied together to make it happen. So sorry for the long-winded, but
Can I ask you
Yes.
just one favor?
Yes.
Next year?
yes,
Can you kind of
turn down the heat.
Just a
I'll
little
work on
bit?
it. Yes,
Just a wee bit,
yes.
especially
Yes.
for the parade.
Yes, the heat was excessive, but the nice thing was the night of the 4th, it really cooled
I wish I had a
off.
pair of long pants and a long sleeve shirt.
So
that night,
it was pretty crazy how it went from one extreme to the other all in a course of a day. So,
Michael?
yes.
So that went so well, perhaps we should have a staffing crisis every year.
No.
All kidding aside, there's one name that you didn't mention, and I'd like to ask for a round of applause for Jennifer Hoisington.
Oh.
Yes.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
I believe we have a video.
Okay. There we go.
As America turned 250 years old, O'Fallon's Heritage and Freedom Fest once again had the best birthday party ever.
It's the best. Always have good bands, they got good food selection, and it's very just family friendly and it's easy to get to.
It's very cool. It's a great opportunity for the community to all come together and get involved and enjoy. Just enjoy.
Everybody here is great people. The workers, good people. The rides and stuff like that just keep me coming back, keep the child in me, just I feel full of life here.
So we're riding a lot of rides, having a lot of fun.
Best day ever.
Like, you guys do it up on the food, man. Your taste buds are firing up. They got everything here.
We got funnel cake, chili dogs, corn dogs, any dog you could want. It's good to see the kids come up and play and have a good time. It's also good for the parents to have a good time as well.
There's not a lot of communities that celebrate a national holiday like we do, and what I appreciate is, for example, my wife and daughter could come up here and feel safe and be protected and have a great time celebrating America.
Everyone was stopping in Entertainment Alley to see what our local vendors had in store. They lent a hand in building this year's interactive brick mosaic, learned about the women and men who keep our freedom safe, and watched a work of art sculpted by hand, or rather chainsaw.
Wherever I go carve, I like to try to do stuff that's either local, like has some sort of meaning to the area, because the fun part is just watching the pieces fall and trying to figure out what it's going to be as it evolves. And then it's fun to see people as it goes trying to guess and figure out what it is.
This is why I went into recruiting. I wanted to be able to have people understand why I joined and the amazing things that the Army can do for you, your career, for your family, changing lives.
July 4th's parade had nearly 80 entries, marveling onlookers with their creative patriotic decorations and costumes. Remarkably, the parade was broadcast live this year by our communications team. Watch it in its entirety on O'Fallon TV and YouTube to relive all the fun. The soundtrack to Heritage and Freedom Fest always includes some of the best in the music industry. On July 3rd, Country Night co-headliners Locash and then Lauren Elena had everyone buzzing. And on July 4th,
Coming. Kansas is here?
yes, the legendary band who redefined the state of American progressive rock, Kansas, took us to the point of no return.
Kansas is great. Great band. I think it's perfect headliner.
It's exciting to watch the people come in, even in the heat. They enjoy the music. Yeah, I'm gonna carry on my wayward son, you know.
Good time, good food, nice people all around. At the end, they put on a nice little fireworks show. You know what I'm saying? One of the best.
Being able to just be here with all your buddies, and the fact that God just like is able to let us come out here and have fun and go on the rides and have all the great food too. It's in like a perfect area, right around all the neighborhoods. Anybody can come. It's just awesome.
You know, you're in America. If you want to make something happen, you can make it happen. You just got to put your mind to it. And you know what? Our founding fathers made that happen for us, and that's why we thrive like we do.
The best part of this birthday party is that we're together as a community. America 250? Here's the 250 more and beyond.
Great job, Jennifer. Great job, communications. This brings us to citizens' comments. Just an FYI, you have 3 minutes. So our first speaker is Mr. Dienoff.
Good evening, members of the City Council. My name is Arnie C. A.C. Dienoff, City Public Advocate, running for County Executive on August the 4th. First off is Bill number 7874. It's a 3-year contract with annual renewals. It's an intergovernmental and cooperative agreement with the St. Charles City County Public Library District and the city. It's a $1,000 payment from each political subdivision, a 50-50 split. But paragraph 2 of the contract needs to be rewritten to protect the city. Paragraph 2 for the shared payment of $1,000. It says there will be no transaction or no money given between the two entities. The confidentiality clause, I hate to tell you, council members, but no documents, information, or clauses are blocked from public disclosure. And that's clearly covered under Chapter 610.024 of the Missouri Revised State Statutes. Bill number 7876, I'll say a lot more in 2 weeks. And I would like to move for an amendment to move the multifamily building moratorium from 6 months to 1 year. We owe the needed moratorium to the 103,000 residents. St. Charles County has approved of the same mechanism for 6 months on July 20th at the county council meeting. And I believe they're going to renew that for additional 6-month extensions. We will see how each member will cast their vote on the record. Bill number 7877, it's a 1-year initial agreement with annual renewals for drone services and operations with the city of Cottleville and their Department of Police. Finally, a real return of millions of dollars that we've invested in the drone program in the amount of $68,000 payment from the city of Cottleville. Great job, Chief. Great job. Resolution A, we need more stiffer regulations and ethics laws for the City Council to prohibit the right construction issue and wrong and unethical contracts between elected officials and private entities. Purchase of land like what was done in the city of Wentzville, and that land contract for $7.8 million was canceled. Hiring of friends and family, that needs to be a no. Total gift ban needs to be in place like state government to apply to all elected officials, appointed officials, and city employees. We need an enforcement mechanism of ethics violations like the city of Wentzville has in place. Resolution B, the Community Block Grant Program recommendation. We need a true and real consolidation with St. Charles County Urban Community Block Grant Program. All the villages and cities participate in that. By consolidation, eliminating administrative oversight, the employee costs will save $150,000 and can go to citizens
Mr.
who
Dino,
need the help.
your time is up, sir.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Rick Hawkins.
Good evening, members of the council. My name's Rick Hawkins. I've been a resident of O'Fallon for a little over 6 years and a resident of St. Charles County for almost 15. Here this evening to speak in strong favor of approval on this apartment moratorium. The population growth that we've seen here in recent years is exponential. It has brought a severe decline in quality of life. Our infrastructure strained, traffic is a nightmare, accidents have just become a daily occurrence. Our first responders are having to go out more and more because of it, and if we just keep pumping the population up by putting the unregulated dense housing in here, it's going to compound our problem. We want this to be somewhere where we all enjoy living, thrive. Where I'm at in the Winsville School District area of O'Fallon, we're going to be looking at our second boundary redrawing in less than a decade just to keep up with population. It's not sustainable what we're doing. To second the previous speaker, I don't believe 6 months is actually adequate. I would encourage you to take a better look at that, maybe a longer term, really gather the data and make some informed progress for our area. I think you guys have a responsibility to this as stewards of our town, of our municipality, and I'll be paying attention to what each and every one of you do when it's time for this to be voted on. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Angie Surrey.
Hi. Related to apartments, I saw that
Angie, give us your name and address for the record, please.
Angie Surrey, and what? My
Address.
123 Grenache Court.
Thank you.
Related to apartments, I saw that the farm behind my house, which was zoned light industrial, has been changed to multi-use. I request that if a multi-dwelling unit goes in there and is approved, that a well-maintained, tall privacy fence is required at the edge of the farm, and that lights are to face away from the neighborhood. This is in villages of Montrachet. And I would like to know how to ensure this would be included in any, if anything would be approved for that, like if somebody could comment on that in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. David, could you answer that question?
So it was never zoned industrial. It's zoned mixed use. If I'm looking at Mount Roche, the lot in question, it's never been industrial. But yeah, I would say if it develops in the front, it should be, there would be a fence and a buffer yard required through there.
And a sign will go up on that property when it comes to planning and
An
zoning.
area plan, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. That's all the citizens' comments we have. Ward reports, Ward 3.
Thank you, Mayor. You up? Go ahead.
I'll go. All right. I only have a couple things here. Number one, make sure you get out there and vote. So the election's on August 4th. Just a little, under 2 weeks away here. Early voting's already started. For those out in my ward, there's a very convenient polling location up at the Meadows at Lake St. Louis. It's right in the front there next to the Old Navy. They're open from 9 to 3, Monday through Friday, all the way to the end of the month, so all the way through July 31st. I was there the other day. I think I was in and out in about 5 minutes. So I asked them. They said a lot more people have been going there than they originally anticipated, so that's good, but still moving very efficiently. And then I just want to thank the speakers from tonight for taking the time to come out and talk about the multifamily housing moratorium. Ultimately, it's you, the residents, that get these types of bills on the agenda. So whether it's an email, a phone call, or just an everyday conversation, thank you again for coming out and sharing your thoughts with us tonight.
Thank you. Mr. Cascola.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the heartbreaking loss of Zachary Pruss. Zach was a recent Liberty High School graduate and an outstanding student, a talented hockey player and a young man who was preparing to begin his next chapter at the University of Missouri this fall. More importantly, those that knew him have spoken of his kindness, his character, and his ability to make everyone around him feel welcome. His passing has touched our entire community, and the countless hockey sticks placed outside homes across St. Charles County are a powerful reminder of how one young person's life can impact so many. So on behalf of the City Council, I would like to extend our deepest condolence to Zach's parents, Jason and Joanna, his sister Elle, his friends, teammates, coaches, and everyone grieving this unimaginable loss. May they find strength in the love of this community and comfort in the memories of a life that, though far too short, made a lasting difference. Please keep the Pruss family in your thoughts and prayers. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Ward 4.
Nothing this week.
Ms. Taylor?
I do. I second what Doug was saying. I encourage everyone to get out and make a plan to vote in this August 4th election. This year's ballot has some important issues on there. There's one issue that's generated, I think, more conversation than any other, and that's Amendment 5. I tell you, I've been seeing this amendment, and one thing's been very clear. There's been huge opposition to it. It's coming from Missourians across the state that I think believe, that their voices should matter and that they're not feeling represented. And I think with this one, it concerns me the most is the disagreement over, the simple thing that is the disagreement over the amendment, but what concerns me as most is the disconnect between many elected officials and the people that they represent. When elected officials, whether it be state or local, become so disconnected from the people, they fail to recognize the overwhelming public frustration. Our job is to represent the will of the people, not impose our own will upon them. And unfortunately, that disconnect has been becoming increasingly evident on not only statewide issues, but also in a lot of O'Fallon issues. For years now, residents have consistently voiced concerns over overdevelopment, worsening traffic, our strained infrastructure, overcrowded schools, and the growing impact that it's affecting on their quality of life. These are not isolated complaints. These come from through neighborhoods and from residents all across the entire city. These concerns were also reflected at the ballot box last April. When every seat that was contested by the council was flipped. And the message from voters, I think, was very clear that they want change, that they want action, and that they want their elected officials to listen to their concerns and represent them. This is why I continue to support an apartment moratorium. Residents have been remarkably clear and consistent. They want us to slow down. They want us to make a plan, and they want us to put existing neighborhoods and residents first. And as elected officials, we have a responsibility to hear their message, not just dismiss it. One of the reasons I ran for the city council was because I didn't believe that I believe that residents deserve someone who would take their concerns seriously, even when those concerns are challenged by the status quo. And this commitment hasn't changed. Whether the issue is Amendment 5 in Jefferson City or overdevelopment in O'Fallon, the principal idea is exactly the same. Government exists to serve the people, not the other way around. We aren't here to impose our own agenda. We have a duty to listen, to represent, and to act beyond half of the people who have entrusted us with that responsibility. The moment we stop listening is the moment we stop representing. And I certainly think there are a lot of people who aren't listening right now with what the people want. So thank you.
Thank you. Ward 5, Ms. Cook.
I have nothing tonight, sir.
Ward 1.
Just wanted to encourage everybody to vote on August 4th. And then reminder, we have a couple of weeks left of our Jammin' concerts, and our O'Fallon Hoots baseball team is wrapping up their season. They've got a few home games left as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Wexler.
Thank you, Mayor. First and foremost, I'm going to ask for prayers for a dear family friend, the Lymans. They recently lost a child, so just thoughts and prayers for them. But on a more positive note, I heard from our friend Jamie Kronk today. She and I had a great conversation, about 10, 15 minutes. If any of you have talked with her, you know how positive she can be. She sends her hellos, and sounds like she's doing well in Florida. It sounds like she's also going to be at a meeting here in October. So I look forward to seeing her. So Thank you.
Thank you. Ward 2.
Thank you, Mayor. Once again, I want to reiterate, get out and vote. It's your right. It's your duty. Also, I said it last meeting, Heritage and Freedom Fest, great job. Everyone did wonderful with that. It was a fun opportunity to partake in, and it was great to see all staff involved. And I would like to welcome the new officers again tonight. Welcome aboard. Look forward to seeing you around.
Thank you. Mr. Boyer.
I've got nothing tonight. Thank you, sir.
All right. Brings us to our city administrator's report. Mr. Snowden.
Thank you, Mayor. I have quite a bit tonight, so please bear with me. I'd like to take a moment to recognize and congratulate our Human Resources Manager, Tanya Hawkins, for earning her Society of Human Resources Management Certified Professional certification. This is a nationally respected credential in the human resources field and represents a significant professional achievement. Earning the SHRM CP requires rigorous study, deep HR knowledge, and a strong commitment to excellence. This accomplishment speaks to her dedication to our organization, her ongoing professional growth, and her passion for serving our employees and our community. We're incredibly proud of her, grateful to have someone of her caliber contributing to the city of O'Fallon. I'd like to let you know about the exemplary achievements and outstanding representation shown by the O'Fallon Police Department Explorers. The 2026 Greater St. Louis Area Police Explorer Academy was held at Missouri Baptist University in mid-July. The O'Fallon Explorer Team 1, and I'm only going to use first names because some of these folks are juveniles, was represented by Lindsay, Andy, Owen, Sarah, and Alina. The team won first place in crime scene investigation, officer in need of aid, and accident investigation, in addition to taking third place in domestic violence investigation, felony traffic stop, and unknown trouble. Also, this team received several accolades for their high-speed response and decision-making skills in the officer in need of aid scenario. O'Fallon Explorer Team 2, comprised of Emily, Brooklyn, Lavelle, and Josh, also fared extremely well. They won second place in crime scene investigation and domestic violence investigation. Furthermore, individual awards were earned by Andy for top shot and Lindsay for top overall female fitness. She has earned this award every year she has attended the academy. So these explorers constantly show their dedication to learning these skills by attending bi-weekly meetings year-round and assisting the police department with special events as well as other volunteer opportunities. During the meetings, explorers experience and are taught the value of communication skills in daily contacts as well as high-stress situations. Their ability to professionally communicate with other explorers, advisors, and the general public, and to take initiative to assist without hesitation were noted by the academy staff. We're very proud of our explorers, and I think this shows the future of law enforcement in our community is very bright. Earlier today, I authorized an emergency repair to our well number 6 facility. The well pump motor experienced a short to ground, causing a catastrophic failure. The well will need to be pulled and the motor replaced. The repair company is on site and is pulling the well now and is expected to have the repairs completed by tomorrow afternoon. The cost to repair this pump is approximately $28,000 to $40,000. I don't have a better number at this point. Please note that our Tower 3 is currently down for a planned project, so our in-town water supply is not at its normal levels, thus the emergency to fix this pump. Please consider this my official notification to you for the record. And lastly, I'd like to wish Councilmember Boyer a happy upcoming birthday, and that's all I have tonight.
Well, the one thing he did forget to leave out for all the accomplishments is Mr. Snowden is now an ICMA credentialized manager. So, Michael, congratulations, sir. He doesn't like to toot his own horn, but I had to do that.
Well, in that case, Tom Drabella is also a credentialized.
Oh, yes. Yes. All right, brings us to old business, brings Bill 7874. Motion for second reading.
Boyer.
Motion by Councilman Boyer, second.
Cascox.
Second by Cascella. All in favor? Any opposed? Mr. O'Keefe.
Bill number 7874, second reading and consideration for adoption. An ordinance approving an intergovernmental agreement with the St. Charles City County Library District for the provision of library services and community programs at City of O'Fallon events.
Thank you. Most final passage.
Boyer.
Motion by Councilman Boyer, second.
Casco.
Second by Cascella. Questions or comments? Cast your vote.
The voting's closed.
9 yes, 0 no. Bill 7874 passed and becomes ordinance number
7330.
7330. Thank you, Bess. Questions or comments on the committee and commission reports? Seeing none, we stand as read. Questions or comments on the consent calendar?
Motion to approve, Cascella.
Second, Wexler.
Motion by Cascella, second by Wexler. Cast your vote.
The voting's closed.
9 yes, 0 no. The consent calendar's been approved. Brings to Bill 7875. Motion to first reading.
Wexler.
Motion by Councilman Wexler, second.
Boyer.
Second by Councilman Boyer. Councilman Wexler, please present the bill.
Bill number 7875, an ordinance renaming the northern section of the existing Old Knaust Road to Heritage Grove Court in the great city of O'Fallon.
Thank you. Brings to Bill 7876. Motion for first reading.
Link.
Motion by Councilman Link. Do I have a second?
Spencer.
Is that Spencer? Motion by Councilwoman Spencer. Councilman Link, please present the bill.
Bill number 7876, an ordinance imposing a moratorium on accepting and processing of applications for new multifamily housing.
Thank you. Brings to Bill 7877. Mr. Cascella.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd request that the City Council suspend the rules as safety is most paramount for our community and our neighboring communities, and do first reading, second reading, and final passage vote tonight.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Wexler.
Second by Councilman Wexler. Questions or comments on suspending the rules? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Brings to Bill 7877. Motion for first reading.
Cascella.
Motion by Cascella, second.
Wexler.
Second by Councilman Wexler. Councilman Cascella, please present the bill.
Thank you, Mayor. Bill number 7877, an ordinance approving an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Cottleville for it to participate in the City of O'Fallon's Drone as First Responder DFR program.
Thank you. Motion for second reading.
Cascella.
Motion by Cascella, second.
Wexler.
Second by Councilman Wexler. All in favor? Any opposed? Mr. O'Keefe.
Bill number 7877, second reading and consideration for adoption. An ordinance approving an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Cottleville for it to participate in the City of O'Fallon's Drone as First Responder program.
Thank you. Motion for final passage.
Cascella.
Motion by Cascella, second.
Wexler.
Second by Councilman Wexler. Questions or comments? I'll get it one of these days. Cast your vote.
The voting's closed.
9 yes, 0 no. Bill 7877 passed, becomes ordinance number
7331.
7331. Thank you, Bess. Questions or comments on Resolution 723, 2026A? Seeing none, motion second to introduce. Motion by Councilman Cook, second.
Boyer.
Second by Councilman Boyer. All in favor? Any opposed? Mr. O'Keefe.
Resolution 723, 2026A, a resolution readopting and reaffirming Chapter 125 of the Code of Ethics of the O'Fallon City Code relative to the filing of financial interest statements.
Thank you. Motion final passage.
Cook.
Motion Councilman Cook, second.
Boyer.
Second by Councilman Boyer. Council members, cast your vote.
The voting's closed.
9 yes, 0 no. Resolution A has been approved. Questions or comments on Resolution B? Seeing none. Do I have a motion second to introduce?
Link.
Motion by Councilman Link. Do I have a second?
Wilcox.
Second by Councilman Wilcox. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Mr. O'Keefe.
Bill number 723, 2026B, a resolution approving the Community Development Block Grant Fiscal Year 2026-2030 Consolidated Plan and Fiscal Year 2026 Annual Action Plan for the City of O'Fallon, Missouri.
Okay. Motion for final.
Link.
Motion by Councilman Link, second.
Wilcox.
Second by Councilman, this is my fault. Melissa, there is something in there about the radon. So if you want to kind of explain that to the new council members.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I just wanted to briefly pop up and just talk about radon testing and mitigation. So in 2025, the Grants and Assistance Division began using radon testing in the CDBG home repair programs with the plan to use HUD funds for the testing and potential mitigation. Council gave the approval to utilize project home funds until we can secure those HUD funds. We are still working on securing those HUD funds. They are included, radon testing and mitigation is included in that consolidated plan and that action plan. And I am working with St. Louis County now to make sure that those funds are allocated in the future for that. So staff is seeking permission to continue to utilize project home funds for radon testing and mitigation if necessary until those funds can be secured, just to ensure that our O'Fallon residents can still receive the benefit of radon testing with those CDBG home repair programs.
Mr. Snowden.
Just to put a number to this so you're all clear, in 2025, it was a little over $10,000 in testing and mitigation that was spent. So I want you to have a flavor for about how much we're talking about.
Okay. Thank you, Melissa.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions? Cast your vote.
The voting's closed.
9 yes, 0 no. Resolution B has been approved. No further business. This meeting is adjourned at 8:30.